Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Good news! Inquiry closed into MP filmed grabbing Greenpeace activist from 7 hours ago from the BBC. This is, of course, Mark Fields, and I made a video about him at the time. You can look back through my log if you're interested to know more about the incident in itself. So, the Tory MP criticised for grabbing a female climate activist has said he is relieved to learn a Whitehall inquiry into his conduct has been closed. Yes, even when these people are trying to find villains everywhere and will convict people on pretty much nothing, and if they hate you enough then they will create laws and prosecute on them retroactively. Tommy Robinson, of course, being an example of that. We have here that he has been cleared. After the incident in June, Mark Field apologised and referred himself to the Cabinet Office for investigation, knowing that he did nothing wrong. He was also suspended as a Foreign Officer Minister, and last week was sacked in Boris Johnson's reshuffle. Police said they would be taking no further action, while Downing Street said Mr Field had left government. The spokeswoman said Johnson viewed it as a matter for the previous PM. Referred himself to the Conservative Party for investigation. The inquiry is continuing. Labour Shadow Policy Minister Louise Hay, always trying to pick an enemy, said, "Never mind not being fit for a job in government, Mark Field isn't fit to be an MP." Well, as far as I'm concerned, what he did was anything that any self-respecting person would do. And, of course, these kind of things are more prominently male behaviours, but nonetheless, something any self-respecting person would do. You don't have any known security. These people have already caused a ruckus beforehand. They don't want to go. They don't want to follow the law. Somebody comes in who seems to have been able to sneak around any security that you might have had, and seems to be making their way for the podium. At that point, what do you do? Do you be a coward, or do you act up and try to stop it? And that's always been my philosophy as well. If I'm in an area and there's an attack, or if there's a hijacking or kidnapping, or people are held to ransom, whatever, I would rather die trying to defend the people around me, especially the ones I care about and love, than go through the ordeal and survive it and then know forever after that I survived by being a coward and that I let these people get away with things that they should not have gotten away with. I would rather die in the process, and to a lesser extent I think Mark Field did a similar thing. But Ms Hay says, having previously failed to condemn his actions, this is a test of Boris Johnson's attitude towards women. He should kick him out of the Conservative Party immediately, she added. Yes, because Boris Johnson has treated everybody as equal instead of giving anybody special privileges, and because he doesn't favour women and just wants the law to treat everybody equally, no matter who they are, where they come from, he's not favourable for the Labour. Imagine if she was also black. Then again, she wouldn't be that self-righteous, would she? She got to be a middle-class white woman in order to be that way. Protesters from Greenpeace wearing suits, grey dresses and sashes with climate emergency written on them entered Mansion House. That's very polite. Breaking entering. It says entering, it's fine. Entered Mansion House in the City of London on 20th June as then-Chancellor Philip Hammond was beginning a speech on the state of the economy. As Janet Barker walked past the table, Mr Field stood up, stopped her and pushed her against a column. He just tried to stop her. Yes, there was a column. Lucky him. Empri, who represents the cities of London and Westminster, then put a hand on the back of her neck and led her out of the room. Well, he was saying, leave, pointing in the direction. She turned back around, so he did grab her, frog marched her out with her smiling and smirking the whole way. Similar to what Sandman did, of course. So, lawful. Mr Field told ITV News at the time the guest had understandably felt threatened, and he had instinctively reacted, good man, when Miss Barker rushed past because he feared she might be armed. And it's also very important that somebody like this is cleared so that everybody else knows that if they're in a similar situation, then they can actually act and stop something potentially dangerous from happening. The vaccine's better than the cure, and therefore, as we already know, that there have been a load of instances of women saying, what the hell's happening? Why aren't men coming to my rescue? And it's like, well, we really don't want to get in the middle of this. And then also then you think that we're an attacker as well. It's similar that you're taught with gun safety training, for example. If you see someone chasing somebody else, you might think, oh my god, they're being chased and attacked. I should step in and stop the attacker. Or it could be somebody chasing after a thief who's just stolen something from them, or maybe attacked a loved one. Who knows? You don't know the full situation, so don't cause any grievous bodily harm. Following the closure of the Cabinet Office's inquiry, he said the City of London Police took eyewitness testimony and examined CCTV evidence before exonerating my actions as proportionate and lawful in the circumstances of the serious breach in security. Good. Naturally, having cooperated in full with the Cabinet Office investigation, I am hugely relieved that the matter is now considered closed. We all are. I've been deeply touched by the letters and emails of support from thousands of men and women from across the country, many from political opponents. I doubt the political opponents would want to actually publicly put their name to it, though. Ms Barker told the BBC at the time that the purpose of the protest had been to speak to men who are in power the bankers, the investors that are continuing to invest into fossil fuels. Yes, not the the women or the ethnic minorities, because okay, so a woman might be able to go after a woman, but not then an ethnic minority, because they win the oppression Olympics. Unless, of course, you can then be racist to them by saying that they're a race traitor, because apparently that's definitely acceptable. Priti Patel is an example of this. She said Mr. Field manhandled her in a way which was very disagreeable. You seem to be enjoying it, so either you didn't, or you're into that. Okay, never mind. But she did not intend to complain to police. There was nothing to complain about. In the statement, City of London Police said they had received a number of reports that an offensive assault had occurred. Much ado about nothing. Following careful assessment and giving consideration to the events of that evening and the subsequent views of Janet Barker in relation to the action of Mark Field MP, City of London Police will be taking no further action against Mr. Field. Fantastic. I'm glad that we have some sort of good news story here, and that's why I decided to pick this one out to make the video on today. Because it's something positive that says you can stand up for yourself and those around you from somebody that you don't trust, has gotten around security and could be armed, and you will actually be protected by the law and prosecuted. So there we go. So don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and your loved ones. As always, get involved in martial arts, get involved in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, get some grappling under your belt, make that belt a nice colour. Black is best, as we all know, as nice as purple is. And see where it takes you. It's a great hobby anyway, and it's a good life skill. But let me know what you guys think. Is it right that he has been prosecuted, or should he have been because he did something wrong that I haven't noticed? Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Always interested to hear what you guys have to say. Keep the conversation going, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.